Hi, I feel a little silly doing this, but since I have the cultural project ready, I thought it would be a good idea and a good way for me to review how to use Commons and how to get the assignment and how I've set up the assignment. So let me show you. Okay, so in our site, I'm going to import the cultural assignment into our assignments so you can see again how to do that. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is you're actually going to need to go to Commons, but I'm going to end up importing it into our imported assignments. So the first thing you need to do, go to Commons. You can search for Bomke. My things are already up, and it shows you all the things that I have put into Commons so far. So I've got things on getting started with Canvas, cultural project. So here's one of the cultural projects, and I have two. So I've actually divided it into two assignments. And the reason is that there are actually two rubrics. So one of the assignments that I have a possibility of doing is the cultural event. So we've got a list of events that they can go to. Some semesters have more events than others. And as events come up, you can let us know. But they can go to an event, or it could be an event, a public event, or it could be something like if they are friends with a Hispanic family and want to do a dinner and have a cultural discussion, they can do that too. So it's got all the specifications in there, or they can do an investigation. Either one of those options has the same rubric. So I've grouped it as one assignment. The other option that students have is of doing a movie review. So I've made them two separate assignments, and then I'll explain in a minute what you can do with these. So we click on it, we're going to import it into course, and then it gives us an option into what course we want to import it into. So we want to import it, or I'm importing it now into the Spanish 100 level resource site. You've started your successful import. There you go. I do want to go back because I'm going to do the other one too. So I'm going to do the movie, click on it, same thing. I'm going to import into course, choose my course, the Spanish 100 level site, and we've started the import. So let's go and see if it actually has already imported. It's usually pretty quick. So we go to our assignments, and yep, there's our cultural project. I'm going to move them both. I'll move them both to the bottom. But one of the things that you can do in your own class is once you have imported it, it's going to show up as an imported assignment, but then you can grip it and move it to where you want to. Or you can do, so you can move it that way by going to the gear and moving it, or you can move it this way. The other thing that you can do is I've already put in the dates, the date that I want it due for my student. So if we open it up, I've got a couple things. One, I've got the directions on exactly what it is, which I've also cut and pasted into the details here. And also we have a document that tells what the cultural events are this fall that we found in the community. So there's that. And it includes, so students are going to submit this. You can change. If you want to edit it, for example, if you want students to hand it in paper, you can do that. It's really a lot easier to have them turn it in if you're using Canvas. It's even if you're using, so if you're using Canvas, it's really easy for students to turn it in Canvas and grade it in Canvas. So I've already got it set, the points that it is, they're submitting a file. I have enabled turn it in, which means that it is going to run their report against other students, against the internet. So if a student did a large chunk of cut and pasting from a website, it's going to show up and turn it in. It's going to give you, you're going to be able to access the report on that. And then here's the rubric. So it's a very simple rubric. There's content and effort and length and organization. I wanted to mention again about the rubrics that with the rubrics in Canvas, you can only set it to be worth 1 point value. So like this one is worth 20 points when the next one's worth 18 points. I have made this personally worth 19 to 20 points. If you want to make it worth 19 to 20 points when you're actually grading it, you can override it and put in 19 points. You can, so this one can be overridden and turned into 17 points, but if you just click it, it will automatically give the higher point value that each of these things is worth. Same thing with this one. This one is worth 9 to 10 points. So if you want to override it, you can give it the 9 points, but these other ones are 8, 7, 6. So anyway, this is for one of them. The other one looks the same thing looks similar with the movie review. So we're going to look at the movie review. And same thing. We've got the description, which I've also cut and pasted, and the library list of Spanish films. In with the one that I gave, the library list of Spanish films is really long and very detailed. So it's really cool, but if students want to choose from a smaller list, I've put together a smaller list of movies that they can look at and choose from. But it's pretty wide open. I did also mention in the directions that if they want to do a documentary film, I think you can learn a lot from documentaries, but it's a different process than doing a movie review because it's more of an informational thing. So if they want to do a documentary film in English or Spanish, that would be more appropriate following the other assignment specifications and questions that it has. So anyway, and it has its own rubric. Again, it's worth 30 points. It's worth the same. The categories are the same, but the descriptions in the categories are different. So what I'm doing in my class, so in my 100 level class that I've put it into, I have them both in the cultural project. Okay, and then students are going to read and choose which one they're going to do, and then they only have to submit to one of them. So you need to specify to students that make sure that they submit to the correct one. If they're doing a movie review, then they need to submit it to the movie review assignment, not to the other one. And then you can just leave it blank. You don't have to give a grade. So if you leave it null, they don't get a 0 for that grade or anything. So you can choose, and have some students submit to this one, some students submit to this one. It was kind of an easy way to do it. So anyway, that's what I have planned to do. So if you want to get it out of Commons, it's available there. I'm going to also put it in the regular Canvas class in the modules. I'm going to put the whole assignment there as well. So anyway, hope you learned something and that this wasn't too boring. Thanks.